I've come to learn something about friendships. They're like a well of experiences, memories, and all things shared. It's like you're taking from your well and you're pouring into theirs, and they're doing exactly the same thing, taking from their well and pouring into yours. And depending on whose water is contaminated, you end up sharing and becoming as one. We hear people say things like, if you are moving around two billionaires, you're bound to become the third. And it seems absolutely true. So natural, like the correct order of things. And so we believe it and we take it on. And indeed, in some situations, people become it. But what about if you are moving around people who are battling with lust, promiscuity, perversion? You're bound to become that too. And this is the part nobody likes to talk about, the part that is often skimmed over, past, because it sounds so judgmental and so untrue because you don't know this person. They're amazing. They're so loving. They're just going through something right now. This is not who they were raised to be. They're better than this. I know them. I spend time with them. There's something about them. This is just not who they are. Once again, they're going to change until you end up changing. And the two of you are as one. I know this woman. She had a lot going for her. No, I mean a lot going for her. She is that type of woman, or rather was the type of woman who, looking in, she is a lot of women's prayer point. Like, you know those conversations you have with your girls and you're listening to them tell you the type of life they want, the marriage they want, the this, the that, and you're like, yeah, she had it. She was a lot of women's prayer point. Honestly, even I looking at her life was like, my goodness, how can you just have it all, ma'am? How is this even fair? She is beautiful. She was young, great job, lovely home, married. I mean, it was it. And looking at her life from the outside in, I just kept thinking that she is just so blessed. She is just so very blessed. And her friend at the time was going through a divorce, and it was just as equally difficult to see. I mean, the contrast was very much there. Somebody who's going through such a happy time in their life and a lot is going and working for them. And then somebody who's going through such a painful time and a lot just seems to be falling apart. She is going through it. And naturally, her friend is there to support her, as she should be. I mean, their lives were so intertwined. They both had children, roughly the same age. So they raised them together, hanging out, playing, being friends in their personal lives. Again, both having been married. Their husbands knew each other. They hung out together. So they were used to spending a lot of time together. And so here her friend is going through this divorce, and that does not change. They start spending time together, and her friend is like, listen, we are going to get through this. Not you're going to get through it. We are going to get through this. I am not leaving your side. And so they do what they do. They go for their lunches, and those catch-up lunches start becoming longer. They start getting boozier. And then before you know it, the friend is inviting her to events during the week because she just wants the company. She wants to get out there. She wants to get her mind off this terrible divorce. And so her friend is there to support her. She goes with her during the week to be that support system. And then it gets to the point where now her friend is ready to start dating. She's ready to put herself out there. And before you know it, men are coming around the vicinity. Men are now starting to come around the both of them. And of course, in her mind, the one who's still married, she's thinking, I'm still married. I have got a whole entire man. I'm not trying to leave him. I love him. I'm happy in this relationship. I'm happy in this marriage. And so there she is thinking, I'm just here to support my friend. I'm wearing my ring. They know I'm married. There is nothing to it. Again, there's more men. There's more booze. There's more outings. There's just a lot more. And at the end of it all, she ends up losing her marriage too. True story. She ends up losing her marriage too. Now, can you remember where this all started? This was just a friend supporting her friend who was going through a really, really difficult time. And now here she is, divorced. They mixed waters, and unfortunately, her well took in the substance of which her friend had. And the two became as though they are one. I also have a friend who is the reason why one of the biggest things happened to me in my career, and I am forever grateful. She is the reason why this amazing opportunity, this amazing global opportunity happened in my career. I remember back in 2019, I was doing a runway show for AFI, and my friend called me up and was like, Boo, where are you? And I had literally just come off the runway. I was getting ready for the after party, and she said, come to where I am. She happened to be at Signature Restaurant, and she was like, come to me. I have something I want to talk to you about. And initially I was like, Boo, I'm just trying to go and have a drink. I just want to party. Come to where I am. I'll get you into this after party. And she was like, no, come to where I am. And just by the seriousness, just that like authority in her tone, I was like, okay, I'm coming to where you are. And so I go there. To cut a long story short, she ends up introducing me to the person who ends up flying me down to Kinshasa to be a part of Kinshasa Fashion Week. I end up walking that runway show and coming back, having gone to different lunches and dinners and breakfasts, and having spoke at this amazing woman empowerment event, and having boosted my brand's portfolio, and also having made all these connections and contacts. It was because of this woman. Now let's go back to the story of the divorced friends. Am I saying her friend was to blame for her divorce? Absolutely not. Be it that she was genuinely in need of the support and the love, and just having somebody there with her, somebody who understood her, somebody who could help her get through it and had no ill intention, or that low-key, she did have ill intent. She did want to have somebody to hit the streets with, and she felt shame because she was now the divorced friend, and low-key was hoping they could enjoy singlehood together. Whatever it was up to her friend to exercise wisdom, discernment, and boundaries. Because whether or not we like it, her friend made her decision. She made certain choices that led to her getting divorced. The contamination that had entered their friendship spilled over into her marriage. And again, she lost that marriage. And when I say her husband left, he left. He absolutely left. I'm in no way saying she should have ditched her friend. Again, please hear me. No, she should have been there to support her. But again, it was her responsibility to exercise wisdom, discernment, and boundaries. And it was a painful lesson for her, and a very painful lesson for us to watch. And it was a lesson received. It was a lesson received. And so I say this again. Who you call friend matters. They have the influential power to change the course of your life, good and bad, or bad. They have that power. And by virtue of the relationship and even the proximity, they can either be a blessing or share their blessings with you, or they can be and bring trouble. And to take it a step further, the question also becomes, what kind of friend are you? It's one thing to have all these expectations about the things you want in a friendship, but are you that kind of friend? When waters mix, are you the friend doing the contaminating? So much emphasis is placed on the type of lovers we ought to be, the fact that we need to cook and to clean and to nurture our men and to be of help and to submit and to bring wisdom and understanding and order into his life, as it should be, as it absolutely should be. Now I'm speaking husband, child. As it should be. But what about our friendship dynamics? What about bringing effort, soundness of mind, wisdom, strength, the ability to pray, the ability to listen, to nurture, to uplift? What about that? Because although these relationships may be two different things and serve two different purposes, they are both very vital. And I say all of this understanding that I have made some very terrible decisions. I will be the first to admit it. I have made some very terrible choices in my life. We've all made mistakes. We've all made bad decisions. But the beauty is that as long as you have breath in your lungs, there is still opportunity and time to grow, to learn, and to change. And it's important that we do so. It is vital that we do so. We don't want to just be the ones receiving. They've also got to receive. They've also got to experience a wholesome version of you. And so my challenge is this. How do you become a better friend? How do you show up in a better way? How do we ensure that our waters are more life-giving and more nourishing?